I tried to open my eyes. My eyelids felt like steel doors as I slowly managed to crack them open, allowing a dim light inside. Squinting as even the dim light was hurting my eyeballs, I tried to make sense of where I was. I felt I was lying down on something soft, comfortable yet strange, as in, not something that I was normally used to lying down on. My mind started to spin as I was trying to work out why I should be here in this position and just waking or coming round from something. I could hear distant noises, voices maybe, unrecognizable to my brain as it was yet to awaken like the rest of me. My head hurt. I felt like I had the mother of all hangovers. Focusing was impossible at this point yet as I blinked and tried to shake off the massive pain in my head. I could sense feeling returning to other parts of me. I turned my head and noticed a bedside lamp and clock. The digital display read 1:46 a.m. My mind immediately became even more confused as I could not recall anything that had happened over the past several hours. I lay there feeling my breathing quicken as a panic stirred deep within me. I was fighting to find any reason to find myself here, wherever here is. The not knowing or understanding was filling me with fear. I moved my legs slowly, bending each at the knees, then moving my arms. All were present and correct. I was still clothed, so that seemed odd. Had I passed out? Had too much to drink or something? Where was I? I was still struggling to focus. My vision was blurred and my hearing seemed as if everything was distant. That really worried me. Had I had some kind of stroke or something? No, I would be in a hospital surely. This was no hospital, it was someone's bedroom. Where the hell was I? The noises were more muffled. I tried to work out what it was, but it was much quieter now. I tried to move my legs, swinging them round over the edge of the bed. It seemed to take so much effort. What was wrong with me? I fell back, trying to get my breath back before trying again. My eyes were slowly starting to clear, so I looked round the room. As I did, I brought my knees up and then down again, trying to make them work. I did this for a few minutes until I could feel as if they were coming back to life. I clenched my fists and pumped my arms, doing the same thing until I felt I had at least some control over my limbs. I could make out a bottle of water on the nightstand and reached for it. As I grabbed it, I could feel the dryness in my mouth as if I had drunk or eaten something very acidic. I lifted the bottle of water to my lips and caught a slight scent of something that should not have been there. I sniffed the bottle. Could there be something in it? I had a bad feeling as I put it back on the nightstand, screwing the top back on. Massive headaches, blurred vision, stiffness in the limbs. Had I been drugged? No way. Could it be? Why though? I could not hear any more noises or voices, so I started the slow move to get off the bed. My legs were moving better now. As I had to concentrate, I willed them to swing round and felt them drop over the side of the bed. At the same time, I found myself puffing and panting as I swung my upper body upwards to end in a sitting position. My head hurt. The pounding inside my head was intense, but my eyes were clearing slowly. I gave it a minute before trying to stand up. With some considerable effort, I stood. I felt my keys rattle in my trouser pocket. That comforted me for some reason. I did not know what had happened, but I was getting flashes of memory that flashed like exploding light bulbs and then were gone. The flashes were enough to tell me that somewhere in this house lurked danger, betrayal, and my wife. I am Warren, 41, married to Elise, 38. We have 2 teenage kids, a daughter 16 and a son 14. My life appeared as bullet points, a series of one-liners that my brain was spewing out as it rebooted. The events of the previous evening were sketchy to say the least, but we had met 2 other couples, been out for a meal, had a few drinks, and ended up at one of their houses for nightcaps. Then more flashes that made no sense, mostly faces, and then nothing until I awoke. It was obvious even to my seriously confused brain that I had passed out for some as yet unknown reason and ended up in the small bedroom. The how and the why will come later, but for now I was consumed with a sense of foreboding and knew I had to get out of there. Wherever my wife was, I was sure she either suffered the same treatment or was a part of it. But why? I stood. Although a little wobbly, I was able to walk to the bedroom door. I cracked it open a little, all the while listening for any sounds. I could hear muffled noises from one of the bedrooms along the passageway and more sounds from downstairs in what I assumed to be the lounge area. Slowly, I crept along the passageway to the bedroom door where I could hear noises. As I got closer, it was obvious at the noise of sex. Then I hear a moan, a soft moan that I knew so well. Elise? Then again, that unmistakable moan she makes when she comes. My heart sank as more pieces of the jigsaw that was my memory of last night dropped into place. Flashes of Elise smiling at me as my vision blurred into darkness. She had known what was happening. Other thoughts, faces, sounds ran through my brain at breakneck speed that I could not hold on to long enough to make any sense of. Something about the meal we had and the talk around the table was as if I was an outsider in some way. It seems like I was clueless, well, until now anyway. I stepped quietly away from the door, my mind reeling, anger boiling inside me. What to do? What to do? I looked at the door for a few seconds, hearing my wife's moans signaling the end of my marriage on the other side of the door. My fists clenched, my whole body was suddenly supercharged with a massive surge of adrenaline as I raised my foot and stamped at the door with all my might. In an instant, the flimsy bedroom door disintegrated and collapsed inwards as I stepped into the room. The three occupants of the bed all turned to face me at the same time, their faces wide-eyed, mouths open in shock as they took in the sight of me standing staring at them on the large bed. My wife was the first to scream, followed by Dave's shout, followed by his brother's wife as she let his cock drop from her mouth. I stepped forward and slapped my wife as hard as I could, knocking her over the bed. She flew off Dave as he had been feasting on her. Too bad. His sister-in-law moved to block me, but another full swing slap sent her over on top of Elise. Dave tried to get up, but I was on a mission now. I pounced on him and started swinging punches. My fists numb with anger as I punched murderously into his face. I kept pounding and battered him until my rage eased. I saw there was blood all over the bed sheets. I stopped when the room was silent. Looking down at him, his face was a mess. That will do for a start, I mused. The fracas lasted no more than 30 seconds or so, but I was puffing and panting like I had run a marathon. I heard voices from downstairs, then footsteps. I turned and left the bedroom. As I walked to the stairs, I saw the others coming up the stairs. They took one look at me, my hands covered in blood, and stopped before slowly backing down the stairs in silence. I stared at each of them as I walked slowly past. Not one could hold my stare and looked away. I thought you were my friends. I was wrong. I walked past them and out the front door. I stood outside in the dark and called the police and ambulance. I want to report a crime. I have been drugged and held captive. I have just broken free. Some people have been hurt. I require an ambulance. I gave the address and sat on the porch and waited the arrival of police and ambulance. Sirens in the distance told me it wouldn't be long. The screams from inside the house filled my ears as I waited. What would have done better? Comment down below in the comments. Follow the second part of this story with the right end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that we stay motivated. Go ahead and listen to the next story, which has the perfect ending added to it.